one of Bedford-Stuyvesant's premier luminaries, Mr. Eric Edwards. Dr. Eric Edwards. Give it up for Dr. Eric Edwards. So on this historic day, we honor the man, the work, the village that embraced his vision and nurtured his dream of a museum in Bedford-Stuyvesant into reality. Today is a celebration of a visionary and the manifestation of 50-plus year journey powered by commitment, by dedication, and perseverance. A museum that personifies the very reasons global leaders established the International Decade for People of African Descent. In 2013, on December 23rd, the United Nations General Assembly passed a resolution establishing the decade and began promoting recognition, justice, and development for Black people. Recognition of Black lives and their enduring contributions, those whose God-given human rights must continue to be promoted and protected. Justice, which for us means having full access to effective protections, remedies, and legal measures to combat all acts of racism, including in education, employment, housing, healthcare, and even in the arts. The Cultural Museum of African Art allows us to control the narrative of our history, of our culture, and our images. Inherent in the artifacts is the history of human rights violations against people of African descent, including bias, misappropriation, and violence. Somebody, anybody, say reparations.
Reparations.
Reparations now.
Reparations now.
So justice is our power to prevent and punish all violators. So who has the power, Brooklyn? We got the power. So I'm going to end with development as manifested in the museum that you all had an opportunity to observe today. This museum is a monument to the preservation of African arts and culture. It will educate people from around the world and employ people from the 56th Assembly District and Brooklyn at large. This amazing collection, which recognizes the contributions and achievements of Africans throughout the diaspora, will increase our self-esteem, promote self-acceptance, and positive mental well-being. A museum that is something that, as we know, has taken 50 years to amass. So I want you, if you don't remember anything else, that today happened because of one Black man who collected this wonderful, wonderful collection. And one Black woman who, because of the people who are sitting before you in this audience and beyond, elected me so that I could fund such museum. And a village of people who have supported him throughout this time to develop this wonderful, wonderful space in a space that is sovereign to all and is known as a Black space for the Black community. So with that, I want to thank you all for coming. I want you to continue to tell the story of Mr. Eric Edwards, of what you saw today and what is going to become legacy for our children. Imagine each of them walking through the halls of this museum, back into time, but understanding that a living legend has helped to bring this forward. And each and every one of you bear a part in that. Are you ready to celebrate?
Yes.
Are you ready to celebrate?
Yes.
So without further ado, I am supposed to acknowledge our state senator, Jabari Brisport, who is here. I'm supposed to acknowledge Councilmember Chio Say, who is the chair of Cultural Affairs. I have before me the wonderful Deputy Borough President. Thank you very much, Reverend Kim Council. And I also want to say that Miss Rita Joseph, New York State Council member Rita Joseph was here earlier today. She is, as you know, the chair of education. And I don't see her now, but Senator Roxanne Persaud did send her staff here as well. There she is. All righty. Are there any other elected officials that I missed? Please stand up and get your accolades. Anybody else? All righty. Well, I want to say, because my mother is shivering, that I also want to thank all of the elders that came out to support this wonderful effort. Give it up for Mama P. I see Jerry in the audience. As you know, he brings Ghana to us each and every day. And I do just want to thank each and every one of you for coming out today. And certainly this wonderful team that has brought this to us. So without further ado, Mr. Marlon Rice, come on back and do your due.
Come on now, put your hands together for Assemblymember Stephanie Zimmerman. So, point of note, content is everything. If you are out here taking pictures, about to make a fire reel, we just want you to hashtag CMAAEEC. That stands for Cultural Museum of African Art, Eric Edwards Collection. So again, if you're taking photos, if you're like, wow, that master of ceremonies is beautiful, I want to take a picture of the person, I'll allow it. You just have to tag it CMAAEEC. Got that? Next up, Lizette Nieves is currently the president of the Fund for the City of New York, an institution charged with developing and helping to implement innovations in policy, programs, practices, and technology in order to advance the functioning of government and nonprofit organizations in New York City and beyond. For over 25 years, Lizette has served in a variety of cross-sector leadership positions. She's an experienced social entrepreneur, public sector leader, and scholar. Lizette also served as the founding executive director of Year Up New York, an innovative workshop development program where in the span of 5 years, she grew the organization from a $250,000 seed grant to a $6 million operation with over 20 corporate partnerships. Her board affiliations include the Edwin Gould Foundation, the Education Trust, New Schools Venture Fund, Jobs for the Future, Propel America, AmeriCorps Board, and the Education for Sea Power Advisory Board. That sounds interesting. Put your hands together for Sister Lizette Nieves.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I want to say first, congratulations to Dr. Edwards. It's a true honor to be here and to be part of what we consider the support for this incredible museum. I want to just say something else quickly because I know how cold it is out here. Is that I hope we consume this museum and its artifacts in the way they were collected. They were collected with dignity, they were collected with respect, they were anchored in history. This is a collection that is not questioning where it belongs. This is not a collection where its history is unknown. I get a chance to travel for my work. I know what it's like to visit different reservations across the country. And I talk to people who are like, do you know what it would mean if I was able to get that chief's blanket here that someone took from us that represents generations? Dr. Edwards, you collected in an industry of art collection that's about vanity, that's about getting paid, and it's about hoarding for private use. And you have defied all of that. So, with your collection, may we be educated. And with education comes responsibility and ultimately liberation. Thank you and congratulations today.
Thank you, Ms. Nieves. I'm not even gonna hold y'all, I should have worn my sheepskin. I'm not lying to you. Next up, we got the ambassador of Sierra Leone, Ambassador Sadiq Wade. Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary to the United States of America, His Excellency Sadiq Abubakar Wade assumed duty as Republic of Sierra Leone's Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary to the United States of America on February 12, 2019. His leadership and excellence and the size, complex responsibility span more than 20 years. Ambassador Wade has been discharging several high-profile leadership responsibilities in the U.S. in spheres of diplomacy, public safety, public health care advocacy, community relations, and social empowerment. As the latest addition to this portfolio, Ambassador Wade was recently appointed by His Excellency President Julius Maada Bio as the Republic of Sierra Leone Ambassador Designate to the United States of America. Put your hands together for Ambassador Sadiq Wade.
Afternoon.
I didn't really know. Those of us who came from somewhere came here.
Closer to the mic. We can't hear you.
The crowd, people whose shoulders I have sat on.
We can't hear him.
Be an activist on the streets of Bed-Stuy or Harlem, all over the place. See Dr. Jeffries. I'm not sure why some people big round of applause.
Yes. We can't hear him.
And the woman that really brought me into politics and
Yeah.
governance and troublemaking is Marty Mosley. Give her a big round of applause. And of course, my colleague, Dr. Pamela Ramsey. Let me be a little serious here because there's always a history that many people don't know. And Eric insisted that if I didn't come here today, he was going to throw me out of the family. So Eric, I'm here, I'm not going anywhere. But on a serious note, I think it was almost maybe 15 years ago. There were two ladies in this town that introduced me to Eric. One was Miss Beverly Maxdale, who was a guidance counselor, who introduced me to Eric Edwards' sister, the late Myrna Williams. Those ladies, may their soul rest in peace. They told me there was this incredible human being who had artifacts from all parts of Africa. So, but I said, well, where is the museum? He said, it is in his house. So we went by myself to look at this place. So then I decided, I said, this thing is too big. I can't do it by myself. I gotta go to somebody who is bigger, better, smarter, that maybe have some access to some money. So I went to Dr. Mohammed Nur Hussein, who you hear from. Dr. Nur Hussein went to then Dr. Takeda Alamu, who was an Ethiopian ambassador to the United States that sits on the Security Council. Dr. Alamu came to Eric's house and he too was falling over the painting. And then Dr. Alamu said, this is huge. This is our history. We need to support this guy. So, Dr. Alamu brought UNESCO here. Dr. Alamu brought ambassadors here. By then, I was not an ambassador, I was a troublemaker. But so, that collaboration led to Dr. Alamu to bring in those ambassadors, to have an ambassador to go to their president, to providing the first dollars to Mr. Eric Edwards to realize his dream. never gave up. Eric stayed focused. And I can tell you, I was just talking to his partner. I said, this exhibition, since now I'm the Secretary General of the ECOWAS Ambassadors Group and I'm a co-chair of the Public Affairs and Diaspora Affairs for Ambassadors, 54 ambassadors to Washington, D.C. Eric, you better get a van, you gotta take this thing to Washington, D.C. and let ambassadors from all over the United States, let them see this exhibition. So I want to keep quiet to say, Eric, your vision, your dream, your passion has convened the world together. This is even greater than the United Nations. This is African people coming together, telling our own stories in our own eyes, among our own people, and standing tall to say never again, like other people say, somebody else is going to talk to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you to Ambassador Wade. We're going to keep it moving. We lost that sun. It was sun over there. Now the sun is going over there. So, next is the United African Congress Chairman, Dr. Mohamed Nur Hussein. Dr. Nur Hussein, the National Chairman of the United African Congress, served as Chief of Geriatrics at the State University of New York Downstate Medical Center in Brooklyn until his retirement as Associate Professor of Medicine Emeritus. He is on the Executive Board of Ethiopian American Doctors Group, a consortium of some 350 Ethiopian doctors in the US and Canada. Dr. Nur Hussein is also a board member of Brooklyn for Peace and an active member of Physicians for Human Rights. Put your hands together for Dr. Mohamed Nur Hussein.
Thank you. Good afternoon. What a wonderful day for a grand opening of a museum. As Eric alluded to earlier, the weather forecast called for a rainy Saturday, but the ancestors would not have it, as he said. And they have honored him with the bright sunshine for honoring them. This collection is like no other. When I first came to see that with my colleagues, now Ambassador Siddiq, I can't tell you how overwhelming the enormity, the sheer enormity of the collection is. There are no words to describe it. And it's then that we felt, really, this is something that African ambassadors should know about. No one, whether in Africa or in the diaspora, has ever attempted anything like this. This is one person who devoted all his life to collecting these artifacts from all the 54 countries of Africa. And most of these are actually centuries, some of them millennia old collections. And Eric's purpose in life was to make sure that the history and culture of Africa and Africans is not forgotten. But more importantly, he wanted to make sure that the children born in the diaspora, in the United States and in the Caribbean, need to know that they come from a long line of kings and queens, ancient civilizations, such as the Aksumite Empire, 3,000 years old. There have been the Zimbabwe Empire, Songhai Empire, Ashanti. I mean, you name it. This was quite thriving big civilization in Africa. And they have left us evidence of that. And it was Eric's purpose to collect those and really, let the rest of the world know. So this is the culmination of years and years and years of tireless work on his part to bring this, and so it's really a pleasure to be part of such an incredible enterprise that Dr. Edwards embarked on. I'm glad for him to see that it has come to fruition. It's a work that, like no other work. And I thank Eric for bringing to all of us the joy, the pleasure, the history and culture and the glory of Africa that Africa was pre-colonial era. So thank you, Eric, if you are around. And thank you all for coming.
Thank you, Dr. Nur Hussein. Some quick acknowledgments that I just saw my brother come into space. District Leader of the 56th Assembly District, my brother Henry Butler in the back. Show him some love. And then for the 57th District, the Assembly Leader for that district as well, my brother Michael Boomer. Give him some love. Okay, now I get an opportunity to introduce the strategic project manager for this whole thing. This is a brother that will call me and text me and email me information. We go back and forth. We on FaceTime. Music's blaring from outside because he lives in the Bronx, right? But this brother is a shining anchor in this whole process. I want to read his bio. Eddie Gahadar serves as the strategic project manager for the Cultural Museum of African Art, the Eric Edwards Collection. He has worked for Dr. Eric Edwards since 2019, December 2019. Eddie's work with CMAA includes grant writing, construction management, exhibition implementation, event planning, institutional advancement, external relationship development, exhibition requests, media and communications, educational programming, community engagement, digital heritage preservation management, implementation of extended reality experiences, and master planning, amongst other roles and responsibilities. Eddie has had a career that has included teaching 4th grade in the South Bronx, and a police officer in the NYPD, and an administrator at St. John's University, and a traditional business owner. Eddie's a lifelong New Yorker. He attended K-12 in the Chelsea neighborhood of Manhattan, and he attended Lehman College in his beloved Bronx. During his first year of college, he then transferred to the Queens campus of St. John's University, where he earned a Bachelor's of Arts degree in political science and a Juris Doctorate degree from the St. John's University School of Law. But most importantly, he is the brother of Derek Gahadar. Put your hands together for my brother. My salvation in this. He put it all together. Brother Eddie.
Darling, you forgot one thing. Head chef and dishwasher. So, basically, I do everything and anything to make a project work. It happens to be this project. This is the project I love. Before I get into my remarks, I want to remember some giants that we lost this year in our CMA family. We lost Myrna Edwards Williams, January of this year, sister of Dr. Edwards. We lost Dr. Dominic Bio, fraternity brother, line brother, my ace, salt of the earth. Barbara Montgomery, sister to Edie Pittman Edwards, Mr. Edwards' wife. And just this past Monday, we lost Gloria Henry. Gloria Henry is the mother of the beloved Carrie Ann Jean. Moment of silence for our lost kings and queens. Thank you. Just want to also acknowledge all the dignitaries that are here. Sadiq Y, Dr. Nur Hussein, Dr. Lizette Nieves, Stephanie Zinnerman, Deputy Borough President, Council. We have Dr. Leonard Jeffries, Dr. Rosalind Jeffries, and on and on and on. And just want to say thank you all for supporting us. Special shout out to my really, really good friend. She turned 50 today. Patty Casablanco. She is here today somewhere. She doesn't like me saying that she turned 50, but she's 50 today. Thank you, Stephanie Zinnerman, Carl Hasty, the Fund for the City of New York, Ravi Leone, Abe Wadwa, Stuart and Maureen Landy, Danny Simmons, Marilyn Mosley, Walter Edwards, Ralph Carter, Donna Marie Dusick, Carrie Ann Jean, Nolene Watley Casimir, and of course, once again, my brother Derek Gadgetar. Love you. So my family is West Indian. And I'll translate for y'all who don't understand it. But my granny used to say, my grandmother used to say, Boba, son, must take your education. Make sure you go out there and get educated. This project has been an education. This has been an education. I've been forced to do things that I never thought I could do. And I've been pushed to my very, very limits. And some way, somehow, we figured it out. And I say we, and I emphasize we. Because sometimes in these moments, people like to talk about I. It can't happen with one person. Right? Just can't happen. It's been an honor and a privilege to work for Dr. Eric Edwards. I've learned about art, culture, history, and life. Like he's taught me so much, and he has taught me so much about life. But the greatest lesson and the greatest thing that I've learned from this experience is family. I've gained a family. I spend every Thanksgiving since 2020, since I got this project, with Dr. Edwards and his wife Edie. It's just the three of us, right, at Thanksgiving. New Year's Day, it's the three of us. Birthdays, it's the three of us. We celebrate all of our birthdays together, right? We celebrate Father's Day. We celebrate Mother's Day together. It is just the three of us. And that's the greatest gift that this project has given. So why did I give myself to this project? I gave up 4 years of my life to take hold of this project, right? Because when I walked in that first time and I saw this collection, it changed me. Like what people who were upstairs earlier, you saw what this collection is. That's approximately 1.53% of the collection, just approximately 1.53%. But there was a hole in my heart and in my soul that I didn't know was there. And the minute I walked into that space, that hole in my soul began to heal. And we hope that we have that same experience because it completes you. What we seek to provide is a unique experience to the people of New York, but also across the globe. The interactive and immersive experiences embedded within the CMAA curriculum. This work is essential since we, the peoples of the African diaspora, are in control of our story. We look forward to furthering existing partnerships while we seek to expand our reach through new collaborations to tell our story and to assist all peoples to do the same. Because everyone's story matters as we strive to achieve a more holistic and pluralistic society. I am quote. I'm going to quote the woman again, who I quote more than anyone else in the world, my grandmother, Granny. She said, "For what, son? After bad is good, and after good is bad, and after bad is good." Right? Basically, life is a roller coaster. And the process of constructing this museum was absolutely a roller coaster. But we're here today. And we're here today to celebrate the life's work of Dr. Eric Edwards. Thank you, Dr. E, for holding the line. You held the line for 50 years. You held the line until the reinforcements showed. You did it with the wind in your face. but with the strength of the ancestors, you persevered. And today, we are all here to rejoice with you. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise as we salute Dr. Eric Edwards.
My grandma had a saying too, she said put a hat on and some gloves when it's cold outside. So she wouldn't like this right now. So we're gonna have a musical selection by the good brother Eric Frazier. I just want to read you a paragraph of his work so you know that we are amongst giants. Eric is a TV show host and producer of Cultural Spectrums and Jazz Pearls on Brick Free Speech TV. And he's a former jazz radio host on WLIU. He's the founder and producer of the Fort Greene Park Jazz Festival and an author of the book, A New Educational Paradigm, Perspectives on Education. He's a singer, composer, musician, arranger, band leader, actor, tap dancer, sensitivity group instructor, former PAL boxer, track and road runner, educational consultant, and the owner and producer of multiple recordings and patents. He's also a graduate of the famed Boys High School, which is right up the block on Marcy and Putnam. Put it together for this brother as he comes in his own way, Mr. Eric Frazier.
Oh my goodness.
Peace and blessings. Congratulations to my brother, Eric Edwards, making history here in Brooklyn, and we all a part of it. Thank you.
Sorry.
Junior, Hyman McDonald, Rasputin, Anthony the third. Say 3 times fast before you finish. All right, okay, very good.
We made the decision to move this upstairs because I'm tired of seeing y'all shaking and shivering. So everybody, make your way up to the second floor mezzanine. I'm gonna bring Eric with me. He's still gonna play out for you, but this is too much. We got Senator Brisport over there shaking in his boots. We got Guthrie in the back with his Scully on. Let's take it upstairs.
Hello, how are you, Chef? Good to see you. How's this guy has to break everything down. Hello, how are you? Good to see you. How is it?
I'm just watching a little bit.
How you been? I'm good. Okay.
So where are they gonna have it? Hello, how are you?
Thank you.